Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 572. It's shave and haircut day. Had to shave, wearing a hat because my hair's too long. My arms are sore, my back is sore, my feet are sore. It was an outdoors, it was a manual labor Sunday, and this body is not used to manual labor. Woke up, did my typical shipping in the morning. And then I went out, I mowed, I trimmed, I edged, I took the leaf blower out, blew all the grass. Then I tackled the garage and emptied it out, swept it out with a push broom. And I think that's why I'm the most sore is my muscles that use the push broom haven't been used in several months, and little sore. So push broomed it out, then I hosed it down and put it all back together. And then I didn't want to stop because I wanted to get everything done because I knew once I stopped and sat down, I was I was down for the long count. So took the dog for a walk, brought in some cards from the show on Saturday, and then I crashed. And I'm feeling it this morning, but it's a Monday morning. We're back at it. Just a random card chat Monday. Just a couple things. There was actually some when I was posting the link on Twitter, something popped up that gave me a little something that I wanted to touch on today. Wake and Break is with us. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ed, David, Rise and Shine. Glad to catch live again. Absolutely. What's up, John? Good morning. Push broom muscles is nanny state stuff. What's up, Dan? Yeah, the old push broom. Oh, DR, what's up? Good morning, all. Hope you have a great beginning of the week. You too. So Cooter's with us. What's up, Jeremy? Good morning, all. Brian, what's up? Kind of want a ticket stub from Cardinals game last night. Pujols only pitched game, right? So if you are you a member of Boogers? That's a funny name. Boogers Ticket Stubs on Facebook. That's like the craze. That's like it's the Albert Pujols ticket stub from last night's game is now the Wander Franco of the ticket world. Everybody wants one. I'm not into tickets. I have tickets and I think they're cool. But I'm not into the like I'm not chasing tickets down. When I get tickets, it's kind of like, oh, hey, this is cool. Like I found the Giannis home debut from his rookie season. That's awesome. This is probably worth a few $100. But other than that, like my Cubs ticket stubs, I love tickets. But I don't really, I collect them because I have them. But I don't I guess I don't actively collect tickets. But yes, the Pujols ticket stub from last night's game is the latest craze in the ticket world. But there's a latest craze in the ticket world. It's kind of funny, like following if you're in this group or join the group, because there's it has, and I think this is kind of a new thing with tickets, since they've become kind of the forefront in the hobby with Darren Rovell a couple years ago really started pumping tickets. Golden has. Tickets have been a big craze here lately. And now you're starting to see parallels to the card hobby with, you're chasing prospects. So now there's, the Bobby Witt Jr. debut ticket was as much as John hates hearing the words Wander Franco, that's what I felt like reading all of the posts about the Bobby Witt Jr. ticket stub. It's kind of funny because every day there's something new. People are chasing debut tickets, Albert Pujols pitching, all of this. So it's the ticket side of the hobby has actually started to parallel the cards, especially when it comes to speculating and prospecting. Wake and Break says, Bo, good morning to you. Let's see. Last night we made it to game 7 of the Mavericks and Suns. That's awesome. Wake and Break is living in his best life, man. He's been to baseball games, card shows, now game 7 of the NBA. Were they conference finals? Now he's going to the Dallas Card Show. You are living your best life. Flawed Thinker, what's up? Good morning to you. Jenny says, cool, now my chat showed up. LOL glitch in the system this morning. It did. There was a delay, and I don't know. Usually there's a few people waiting before I hit the live button. There was only like one waiting. So I just figured, hey, it's a Monday morning. A little slower this morning. Booger Cooter is this Dukes of Hazzard channel, right? We've got Cooter in here. We're talking about Booger's ticket stubs. Your Cubs played at Arizona yesterday. It's been a great road trip adventure. I need to turn a Cubs game on. I haven't watched a Cubs game in like 2 weeks. I thought maybe Bo blocked me out of chat. Absolutely not the case. Cooter says, as a Giants fan, I am not going out running out to buy that stub. Victor says, oh, what's up, Victor? Good morning to you. Flawed Thinker was just watching your interview with Fujitsu. I don't think I do enough in sales to invest in one yet. That's a great point. Flawed Thinker talking about the Fujitsu 7030. It's awesome. You'll eventually, and I talked to my buddy Brian, Offbeat All Stars, was asking about it. And, if you're only moving 20 or less cards a week, it's definitely not worth it. Now, you will eventually get your money back. But if you're doing the less volume, the longer it will take. And yeah, it's a hefty upfront investment, in the $500 range. But it's definitely worth it. And it will be worth it in the long run. So if you're doing, if you're doing limited sales, I would say, yeah, it's probably not worth that big investment. But if you're doing a decent amount, and I'd say I do between 150 to 400 in sales per month. I guess it's kind of like volume, what you want to list, how fast you want to list. If you're wanting to do volume, then it's definitely worth the investment. But if you're just kind of randomly throwing some eBay items up here and there, I would say it's probably not worth your investment. Herman's with us. What's up, Herman? Post game cards. Good to have you in the chat. D Pyers is with us. Good morning. John says I have a ticket stub from the latest Nick Cage movie. Highly recommend. What movie is that? I'm not much of a movie guy. Like I'll watch. Usually the movies I watch are like 80s and 90s movies, and then the occasional newer movie that comes out. The thing is, all of the new movies that come out now are just remakes of 80s and 90s movies. And I do get nostalgic and I want to see a remake here and there, but there's just isn't it strange how like nostalgia, like wasn't there like I guess I don't understand where all of this nostalgia came from. All of a sudden in the last maybe 20 years where there was rarely, and there were remakes, sequels and stuff like that. I guess it came out maybe Star Wars was when they started making I don't even know. Are they prequels? Are they sequels? Back in the late 90s. And then all of a sudden it's just this wave of, okay, everything old is new again and fun and we like it. But it's like you had TV, TV was really coming on in the 1950s and you had all those, original TV shows. Go through the 60s, you go into the 70s, you go into the 80s, and then all of a sudden, we don't get nostalgic until the late 90s. And now all of a sudden, it's nostalgia overload. And it's like, I kind of miss original content. It's like every new show, we're going to do all of these shows that were popular in the 90s and 2000s. They're doing that 70s show on the 90s, which I think is actually a pretty cool idea. But anyway, I just think the weirdness, the nostalgia, I guess It must be just like, I guess, with everything else in pop culture, it's all cyclical and it's generational. So, but will we see like the nostalgia continue? And I think nostalgia has driven the hobby, the card market, where look at all the collectors that came back because they were nostalgic of their childhood, 80s and 90s cards, and the cards they couldn't buy when they were kids, now they're affordable. Not only do they have, more disposable income, but the cards are cheap. A Jose Canseco rated rookie is no longer a $100 card. Easier pill to swallow. When you're 40, you can afford it. And it's also easier to pill to swallow because it's not $100 anymore. It's $10. Nostalgia kind of drives. And how long will nostalgia be? Like, is this is nostalgia always going to be a driver in pop culture and in the hobby? Or is this just cyclical? And, in the next few years, it phases out and we want original content again. We crave the new fancy shiny thing. I don't know. It's interesting. Paul, what's up? Good morning to you. Tickets aren't tough to figure out. Just like Marvel, F1, Star Wars, and others, people got sick of the same 10 NFL, NBA, and MLB players and just wanted something else. Wake and Break says, did y'all hear about the 2 million card purchase at Burbank? I absolutely love Burbank cards. I made the card father my adopted lifetime LCS, picking up 2 milli cards Saturday, May 28th. Awesome. 2 million cards. That's amazing. Absolutely awesome. Where I skipped ahead here. A flawed thinker. I do between. Okay, we got to that one. DR says, if I owned an MLB team or ran their ticketing office, I would create a replica set of the top 10 games for the franchise and reprint a custom ticket and sell it for. That's a good idea. I think that's been done. I know that's been done. The Cubs did it with World Series tickets. There's a lot of replicas out there. In fact, I have a rep. I don't have any original Cubs World Series tickets from 2016, but I do have a replica in a frame on my wall. But it's strange how organizations have gone away from the tickets, and everything's digital now. And it's really interesting to follow how difficult it can be to get printed copies of tickets to games. And some people have to get really creative and come up with excuses and lies to get a hard copy of a ticket for these milestone games. And ticket offices, they're onto it. They know that there's a big market now for hard copies of tickets. It's it's kind of wild. But I've always liked tickets, and I basically keep every ticket that I've ever been to, and I don't go to too many like live sporting events. But I still have my Triple H WWF debut ticket. I was there live as a 12 or 13-year-old in 1995. Still have that. Where are we at? 25 years later. Yeah, almost 30 years later. I was going through and I actually did throw some. I had like some Wisconsin Badgers, like basketball ticket stubs from a few years ago. It's like, I'm just gonna toss these out. I got into that. Sometimes when I get going, it's like, okay, toss, toss, toss. Victor, what's up? Good morning to you. Jenny says, I'll eventually buy a Fujitsu scanner, probably next tax season. I don't believe I'll ever invest in Chronazio monthly subscription, though. I will not. Although I am curious, and I mentioned this last week, I am curious about the Chronazio artificial intelligence. That could be a huge time saver. But the monthly subscription to list on eBay is not worth it, in my opinion, because File Exchange is free and you can list just as fast using File Exchange. Wake and Break says, Bo, have your ears been ringing? I was bragging about you to collectors on the road trip about your Cub card collection. It's been a fun adventure. Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually still have. I took my Cubs cardometer to the card show in Rockford on Saturday. It's not updated. A lot of people ask, like, is that really how many Cubs cards you have? And I'm like, actually, there's about 2,000 more because I haven't counted them yet. So I have a few boxes that I still need to count. I started bringing in some of the collection that I bought Saturday after the show. So that'll add probably a couple hundred, few hundred, because the sets in binders and in the non-factory sets, I will break up, you know, list the singles, keep the Cubs. So I'll count those in. So somewhere over 800,000 Cubs cards now in the collection. And I got to bring the cardometer back and put that in the corner. Andrew, what's up? Good morning to you. Jenny said, what's the update on the collection you and John are hoping to buy? Nothing, no word, which is surprising to me. I thought we would hear something back. I'm at the point, and here's where it is when you're buying and selling things. I'm at the point where I don't care anymore. I thought it was a fun idea, but it's like it's a it's a bigger investment, and it's going to take a lot of work not only to recoup the money that would go into the collection, but also now that we're splitting it between John and I, we've got to put a lot of elbow grease splitting it up and looking at comps and making sure that we're each getting a fair deal on the half that we take. So in right now, like this month is just absolutely crazy busy for me. And it's not something I am really, you know, looking forward to. So I'm not going to reach out and say, hey, where are we at on this? If they reach out and accept the offer, I'll take it because that's the thing to do. That's the right thing to do. But at this point, it's like, I'm not really, it's not something I'm pushing for, because it's a big investment and it's going to be a big time investment. So it's a lot of time and money. Now, will it pay off? I believe it will. Yes, but I think I think my time and money can be used better, if that makes any sense. Although it would be a lot of fun. It's just I've got a lot of other fun things, work related, with card sales that I'll be doing here over the next 3 weeks. Let's see. Cooter says, who are all going to the Dallas card show? We should have a meetup of Bo's bros in the bar on Saturday. I'm jealous. Get a picture for me. I'll be at a card show, but I'll be in Green Bay this weekend. The land of cheeseheads. I'll have to wear my Rashawn Salam Bears jersey. I actually did wear my Salam Bears jersey to a Bears-Packers game at Lambeau a couple years ago. So I'll be at the Green Bay card show Saturday, May 21st. John says, unbearable weight of massive talent. First movie I've seen in theaters in a few years. Just see it. Awesome. I will look out for that. Andrew says, love the hat. Think my dad had one like that back in the day. Thank you. I don't even know where this came from. It might have been was it a giveaway? I don't even know. Is it a Cubs hat? Free your mind. I have no idea. I have no idea where I got this hat, but I've had it for a while. And I need a haircut, so I didn't. I'm gonna throw a hat on today. Let's see. Where's I think I saw Herman comment. Where am I at? I'm way back in the chat here. Herman says, like the Top Gun movie that the wife informed me that we had to watch in the theater. Yeah, Top Gun, another remake. John says, because the world kind of sucks the last few decades. Yeah, you can make a case for that. Good morning, Scott. What's up? John says late 70s had happy days in Greece. Also, when the hobby came out of the shadows and collecting became an adult endeavor. Dan Quesadillas, what's up? Good morning to you. Wake and Break says, wait, what? I just purchased the 86 Jose Canseco rookie. I was so excited. I paid the old price. It's great to relive our childhood. Too funny. I didn't check comps. I just got fired up and purchased. Well, I know it's not 100, unless it's graded. Like, I think you can get a raw copy for around 10, 15 bucks. Now that I say that, I want to check. I'm curious. 96 Dons, Jose Canseco. I'm thinking, okay, here's a graded 7.5 for 25. Let's go to sold. We're looking at the 86 Donruss rated rookie, Jose Canseco. Where are we at here? Oh, a raw copy sold for about 25 exactly shipped. A PSA 6 sold for about 22. or no, 24. Here's a raw copy sold for 12 bucks at auction. Another raw copy sold for 20 bucks. Oh, that's a PSA 7. So yeah, a little more than 10 bucks. So say 20 bucks. Um, let's see. What's up, Zach? Good morning to you. Playing catch up. Have a fantastic day. You as well. John says tickets require labor. Digital tickets take labor costs out of it. Absolutely. It just sucks for, hoarders and collectors and hoarders. Um, because what sucks is like, I want to keep things as moment. No, if it's a Wisconsin Badgers Northwestern football or basketball game, I don't really care. But if it's like a memorable game, like I have a ticket, but it's a piece of paper. It's a printed out piece of paper from the Cole Hamels no hitter. Now, I have the ticket as part of a season ticket book that I bought. So I actually have the ticket and it's still inside, the complete set of the 2015 season ticket book. But it's like I kind of want my copy because it's I like my tickets like I like my pre-war vintage. I like them with a little character. Like I know a beat up copy of a T206. Like I know that's authentic and loved, and somebody kept this, but it wasn't kept. It most likely a beat up copy of a tobacco card wasn't kept because it was going to be worth money someday. It was kept because it was like a cool little collectible that I'm gonna love. I'm not gonna like take care of it. I'm not gonna put on surgeon gloves and put it in all these plastic holders and display it so it's pristine. That raw character that yes, this kid like manhandled it and took it to his friend's house and hey, look at this card and tossed it on a table or a shelf and has 100 years of wear on it. That's how I like my ticket stubs, where it's yeah, I don't want them like torn and ripped and all that, but yeah, little bit of like shows that this was actually used. Like this was used. Like the ticket that I have is just in a season ticket. But I guess I could manufacture. I could rip it out, put it in my pocket for a day, to replicate what the original ticket would have gone through at a baseball game. But I just have a printed out. I have the last couple Pearl Jam concerts I went to. They're just printed on a piece of. Actually, I think the last one was in my phone, digital. But the 2016 is just printed out on a piece of 8x11 paper. DR says, I wonder the impact nostalgia has on people paying inflated prices on slabbed cards versus just buying a raw copy. That's a good question. I don't know. I really, on, and I assume you mean slabbed cards and not slapped. But I think that there's really not an inflated price on slabs anymore. And there hasn't, certain ones just, and usually it's because of the grade, but you go to, I was talking to my buddy who sets up at my show, and he came to the Rockford show on Saturday, and he just got one of his PSA submissions back, and they're basically like $10 slabs, and it cost him, just the submission alone when he submitted them was $30. So we're talking like Bull, Tyler Harrow, Kobe White. So those are like $10 slabs. And he had to spend $30 to get them submitted. So there's a lot of bargain box slabs these days. It's weird how it's all digital and cashless at games. And here's the thing, and I haven't read the second part of this, and I think I've talked about this before, where I used to be completely cashless up until I started doing card shows. I never had cash on me. My wife would get so annoyed because hey, can I get 20 bucks? I don't have any cash on me. And I was like strictly debit credit card. It was all plastic. Credit card, you get those points. Debit card's just easier. You just slide it in. You don't have to worry about cash and change in your pocket. Never had cash. Now that I'm doing card shows, I always have cash. So I go to Sloan Park during spring training. Everything is cashless. And here I've got a fat wallet of all this card show money, and I can't use it because I've got to swipe just for a beer or a hot dog, and it's just now that I have cash and I use cash, it's annoying that everything's going cashless. I love it. I recently purchased a ticket for WWE Money in the Bank, and the replica ticket was $25 for the souvenir. Yeah, so they've caught on, and now there's gonna be a segment of the market where it's like, well, this is just a souvenir ticket. It's not legit. So that $25 ticket is probably it's not gonna rise in value where if something big happened on that show and it became a very collectible item, since it's a souvenir ticket, it probably wouldn't increase in value because it's not a real ticket. And that's a thing. Like in the ticket world, that's a thing. Like there's you can get there are tickets from games, and I know the big one is Luis Robert from 2020 COVID season, where his debut, his MLB debut and his first home run were during COVID. And there's not a bump in, even though the tickets are super rare because they were only hard copy tickets were only given to season ticket holders. So you would think there would be a rarity and it would spike the ticket prices, but that's not the case because they're not actual tickets. While they are hard copy of tickets, you couldn't actually use them to get in the game because there were no fans allowed. So that's what's unique about the ticket world. Justin is with us. What's up, Justin? He's got 3 to go collecting the 1956 top set. Justin has an awesome, he's starting a vintage run. He's got 55 Bowman, 55 tops, and now he's working on finishing up that 56 top set. Now, I got to ask, is 57 next? Is 57 next? I'm taking my wife to Ryan Zimmerman's jersey retirement game, and I wish I could get a hard copy ticket stub. My dad saw his first MLB home run, and my wife and I saw his last home run. Now, I'm going to see if that's a possibility because there are loopholes. There are loopholes to get hard copies of tickets. Let's see. I thought there was a. Let's see, is it featured? Shoot. Trying to find this fast. Let me see if I search. Am I going to search? Okay. MLB. That's probably not. That's going to come up with so many. There's a way, and I don't know if the Washington Nationals are one of the teams. There are ways to get hard copies, even if they don't advertise it. There are ways. Sometimes it's as simple as going to the box office and asking for a printed copy of your ticket. Sometimes you have to pay a fee. I think some teams charge like $20 to print off a copy. Some will just some will say no. Some will give you a hard time if you say you lost your phone and they're like, really? So there are ways. So I don't know what the Nationals box office is, but you can ask. But ask or Google it or look around. But there should be a way. Most teams, there's a way to get a hard copy of your ticket at a baseball game. Only a handful of teams, like maybe 5 teams, will not under any circumstance print you a hard copy of a ticket, but most will. Sometimes it just takes a little work. Wake and Break says, smash the thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate that. Great to be awake and this early to catch live. Yeah, you've been on the West. You're on the West Coast, so it's 5:30 out there. Jenny says you'll be adding more bulk Cubs soon. This is the week you should have a good Goodwill pallet pop up if history taught us anything. It's about a week late. So it was 4 weeks between, and then it went 5 weeks. Now we're on, I think, 6 weeks. My last pallet, and it was a Monday though. When the last pallet came up, it was a Monday. So let's see. The last pallet I purchased would have been on April 5th. So yeah, it's been a little it's been about 6 weeks. So they're a week behind. Let's see. Nostalgia moves to which generation has money. That hasn't changed. Oldies radio proves that. Classic hits, most definitely. Where are we at here? Shoot. For some reason, my chat like skips around so much, and I'll like just tap the little scroller thing, and it moves to the bottom. Let's see. Yikes! I wouldn't buy it at this point. It's been 2 weeks since you gave an offer. Let's see. I picked up some WWE singles on ComC for 75 cents a piece yesterday. How was the market for WWE Prisms singles at the card show? I didn't see any. I did not see any. Now, I didn't really look at too many tables. Um, I kind of bounced around to uh, the tables I went to were vendors that set up at my show or that are regulars that I know, bargain boxes. So I guess I did go to most. I guess I went to most tables. Um, but no, I didn't see. I'm sure there were some out there, but I didn't see any. Um, Actually, there was one table that had Prism singles, and I think they were. I think like the commons were $1, and they had like a $3 box. But there was like I think it was a father son duo, and they had like all wrestling singles. It was like all wrestling cards, maybe some UFC, which I don't think I've ever seen that at the shows I've been to here in this area where it's been like strictly wrestling cards, which is cool. Now, it was all modern, like super modern, like Prism and Heritage, Topps Base, Finest. It was all new stuff, no vintage, but that was something that I was surprised to see a table of wrestling singles, but no Prism outside of that table, and they were like I think the lowest was dollar. My Prism singles on eBay $1.50 shipped, hardly moving. I think I've sold 3 or 4 out of everything I listed. Let's see. Shaw Cards, what's up? Good morning to you. John doing cardio at Planet Fatness, so the rest of you don't have to. You're welcome. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I'm gonna try to be lazy today, although I do have to haul in all my boxes of cards from my car this today. Abraham, what's up? I got to see Abraham at the Rockford show on Saturday. Wake and Break, I wish I collected a printed ticket from the Angels no-hitter. I took a screenshot of my digital ticket. I agree that idea of printed tickets is great. Cliff, sorry, but I have to do cardio as well. Run a few extra laps for me, please. I don't road trips yet. Bo, I'll send you a message later. Just want to give a heads up. Summer July 2023 MLB All-Star Week in Seattle. I'm hosting the Seattle Card Show. You inspired me to host a big show. That's awesome. That is really freaking cool. I love that. Let's see. Zach says, I'm surprised you don't use Nautilus equipment and medicine balls with your love for vintage. Rafter Spudlord, awesome name. Can you say Stormtroopers at the Buddy Van? I just did. I love the name Rafter Spudlord. Let's see. Jenny says, I see so many graded cards on eBay that are under the cost of getting a card graded. I'll never have to grade a card. If I want one, I can find it cheaper on eBay. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Like, just for basic singles, it's like, why submit when you can buy? There are some that I'm buying. I would want if I were to buy a copy. If it's modern, I want a more mint card. But I don't want a gem mint because I don't want to pay gem mint prices. But I'll buy a PSA 8 or a PSA 9. But if it comes to vintage, I want SGC when it comes to vintage. I don't want an SGC 4 or 5. I want an SGC 1 or a 1.5 because I want I'm a quantity of quality when it comes to my collection. Cooter says, speaking of beat up cards, when my brother passed away over a year ago, we could not find his 33 Gowdy Ruth and 41 Playball Williams. Thought they had been stolen. Found his hiding spot on Saturday. Wow. How about that? Thinking they're gone forever, and you come across a 33 Gowdy Babe Ruth and a 41 Playball Williams. That's That's a find. That's a find. Um, Magnus from Sweden. Yes, that is awesome. So we've got Korea in the chat. We've got Sweden. Sometimes we've got John from the UK in here. By the way, I'm like 20% Swedish, Magnus. I don't know where my and I can tell you, we might be cousins. So my grandmother on my dad's side was Swedish. Her parents, so my great grandparents came over from Sweden. And I'm trying. Was Matson was my grandma's maiden name, and I think Voxline. And I don't know if that's the pronunciation. Am I even logged in? For some reason, my ancestry.com is not working. That's awesome. Sweden in the house. That is so cool. So now we're going to talk a little ancestry. So I am, and I think my ancestry says I'm like 20% ancestry is not okay. There we go. There we go. Let's see my DNA story, and it's not working. Why is it not working? Okay, this is making for just awesome content. Okay, for some reason it's not showing up my DNA story. Let's see. Is this it? Anyway, Magnus, great to have you. Let's see. David says, can you order from team and pick up at will call? Pretty sure the Pirates offer that at least. Yes, so some teams do offer that, some don't. So and again, some teams like the Cubs, no way, no how. You cannot, under any circumstances, you cannot get a printed ticket of a Cubs game at Wrigley Field. But some will. Some, some, if you, like David said, if you just will call, you can get a ticket. Some will give you the runaround and a hassle. You have to make up lies and excuses. Sometimes you have to pay a fee. So it just varies by team. And if you go to the Boogers Ticket Stub group, there's actually a little spreadsheet, and I was trying to find that earlier as well. And it shows like it breaks down like which teams are will do it and which ones won't do it. Cooter says, talking about the Gowdy Ruth and the play ball Ted Williams, he had wrapped in a plastic grocery bag and hid in a corner of a cabinet. Thank God my daughter knows what a couple of top loaders in a bag feels like. She was just sweeping out, quote, trash. Wow. Thinking about starting a binder with one card as a representative from each year going back as far as I can find. That's a cool project. And I've heard people doing that with like Topps runs. That would be a cool project. Low Roller says, I saw you sold a lot of football and basketball cards on your eBay store. Yep, I have. I've got over 12,000 cards in my eBay store, and I have football and basketball along with baseball and some hockey. Very few hockey, some wrestling. I've got several hundred wrestling cards. Little bit of everything. By the way, the link to my eBay store is in the description to this video. Let's see. Wake and Break says, not to be a bummer, it's on this adventure. I have met so many amazing people, but they are dumping collections, hurting for money. So cash is king and picking up a ton of cards. That's a great point. It's an unfortunate point because people are hurting for money, but in some cases, it's people want to get out because it's not a quick flip anymore. 2020 and 2021, you could go to Walmart or Target. If you found cards, you could usually flip those blaster boxes. You could open a $20 blaster box at the time and make $40 in reselling the singles. You can't do that anymore, which we all knew or should have known that was coming. And in 2020 and 2021, I could not find collections to buy. I could not find bulk lots to buy. Now I can. And now it's like I'm turning down collections and bulk lots because I just don't have the time or space. That's why I'm selling bulk lots, and it's not for the money. It's just so I can clear out my commons and get some extra space and use that money for buying more collections. That sounds like a very cool project. Herman, regarding the card run. How have your 2022 Bowman sales been this weekend at the show and on eBay? So eBay, it's kind of trickling down just because I haven't added any new, and I think that's, once cards have sat in a store for about a week, they don't move. I still have, I think, 3 Wander Franco rookies that I dropped the price to $5. The week of release, I couldn't keep them in my store for $10. Now I can't sell them for $5. And that's typical of new releases. But I'm still moving Bowman singles. It's more of a trickle, which is to be expected. We're 2 weeks out of release now, so I'm not surprised whatsoever by the slowing down of Bowman sales. At the show, I had my first customer bought a whole bunch. Like I had about 2 rows of a 4-row box filled with Bowman singles, and I bet I sold 35%, 30% of the singles that I took. So sales are still there. You're not gonna sell, Khalil Watson's were first chromes were selling for 20 to 25. I'm sure those have dropped significantly. Fortunately, mine had all moved. And I know a lot of, the first chromes are selling for a couple bucks now. I still have like a huge stack of first Bowman chromes that I just didn't get around to listing. And now it's like, I just might sit on these now. So we'll see. WWE cards are hot on the West Coast. Everybody is chasing Star Wars. Very nice. Let's see. Zach says, Bo, Sports Card Nation today covers the history of Bowman. Please give it a plug. Good stuff. Awesome. I will have to check that out. Speaking of plugs, 3B collection tonight with Bean's B Card blog, 7 p.m. Central. Yep. Check that out on Herman's channel, 3B collection. Ken went on live last night. I just happened. It was perfect timing because that was when I had just come inside from all my outside work and took a shower. I was laying on the couch scrolling Twitter, and I saw Ken said, I'm going live at 5:30 p.m. Central. And I look at the clock. Oh, it's 5:30 p.m. Central. So I clicked. So I was able to watch Ken go live last night on his channel, Bean's B Card blog. So yes, and then those two pair up tonight, 7 p.m. Central over on 3B Collections channel. Let's see, where are we at here? Wake and Break says, Sweden, I'm a Swedish baby. 25% Swedish is awesome. Johnny Boy Cards, good morning to you. Magnus says, I can PM you on Twitter about some ancestry if you want. Yes, please do. That would be awesome. And I will, after I wrap this up, I'm going to look into my family tree and try to find what, because I think my ancestry was really narrowed into like one region of Sweden, and it wasn't like a major, it was rural. It wasn't like Stockholm or a major city. It was a small rural area. So I'll try to find that information, and yeah, we can chat. That would be awesome. And I really want to visit Sweden. My wife and we do a Europe trip. Well, since COVID, we haven't, but we try to do a Europe trip every summer. And Sweden is part of, has been on our short list of places to visit. And for me, because I want to see the ancestors, just kind of see where I, came from. TD Sports Cards, good morning to you. Low Roller says Dalton Varsho is the next Shohei Ohtani. You need to check Dalton Varsho rookie cards. It's probably going up. Check your quarter box. I've got some Dalton Varsho cards in my eBay store. I probably have a bunch. Because I think, was he a rookie? Is he a rookie this year, or was he a rookie in 2021? I can't remember now. But I do have some Dalton Varshos. They're $1.50 shipped. They don't move very quickly. Let's see. His dad, Gary Varsho, a former Cub. Looks like he was a rookie last year. So I have a Topps rookie card. I have that's mislabeled. I have a couple Topps rookie cards. I have 3 Topps rookie cards. I have a rated rookie. I have a Topps Holiday. I have Bowman. You have a bunch. I have like 8 Dalton Varsho rookies, all for $1.50 shipped in my eBay store. Let's see. Wake and Break says, Magnus, were you living in Hawaii a few years ago? I met a Magnus from Sweden in Honolulu. That's very cool. Dave, Bo, using your ideas, his eBay business is more than I can handle. My eBay business is more than I can handle. That's good. That's actually a good thing. That is awesome. I love to hear those success stories. Otani is a growing legend. Seeing him live is amazing. Recommend everybody get out and see Otani live. I was able to catch Otani at spring training. He led off the game against the Cubs, and it was like a spectacle. I was like watching his every step. It was, must see TV. Wake and Break says Santa Cards will be repacking a lot of cards this year for Children's Hospital. We are excited to bless kids in need. It was a crazy run trying to find cards, and now the floodgates are open. That's awesome. Magnus says, no, I live in Sweden, but I have relatives in Glenview that I visited 5 years ago. Keep buying now. We get more cards for the money. As a collector hoarder, it's a blessing to buy, and keep buying for the same price. Absolutely. Where is Uncle Rich? He's probably watching on replay today. Jenny says, I have to get the eBay store restocked. Goal was 9K by yesterday, but then buyers cleared me out this weekend. 8,300 current. Rebuild today for another great weekend of sales. Yep, I was able to surpass 12,000 again last week, but now I'm back under. But this week is going to be tough because I've got the Green Bay Card Show, which, by the way, the Green Bay Card Show this week, I'm going to try something different. I'm doing dollar boxes, but I'm not top loading or penny sleeving them. They're only, I'm not top loading or card savoring them. I'm putting them in only penny sleeves, just like my quarter boxes, but they're going to be dollar boxes. And I'm going to do a fill a box, and I'm either going to do $50 or $60. So that would be 50 cents or 60 cents when you fill a 100 count box of dollar cards. So this week I need to uncard saver my dollar cards, and I need to add more dollar cards. So I'm going to try that out. It's a new region. So I feel that I didn't want to do something that big of a change to the regular shows I do. So it's kind of experimental at a new show with a new clientele, just to see how it works. And if it works out well, I'll transfer it down to the Rockford show when I do that next, or whenever I set up at my Madison show next. Let's see. Dalton Varsho is not selling in your eBay store yet. He is doing well. Did it increase? I don't know. I'm not selling any Dalton Varsho cards. There's about 8, 9, 10 in my eBay store, and they're not moving. $1.50 shipped. Maybe you can buy them. Because if you buy them all, you'll get them for 25% off. So they'll be even less than $1.50. In case you don't know who I am at Twitter, I collect Pinnacle. Okay. Let's see. Wake and Break. Bo, send everybody to meet Uncle Rich at the Dallas Card Show at his ComC booth. We can all take a group photo and send to Bo's buddies. Please do. That would be awesome. Let's see. Jenny says, I'm chasing Bo on active listings. You're going to catch up to me this week, and you'll probably surpass me in the next couple of weeks because I just won't have the time to list because I'll be working on card show prep this week. I'll be out of town Friday and Saturday. And then the following week is my Madison Card Show, so I'll be behind on shipping. And then I'm out of town for like 2 or 3 days the first week in June, and then I'm out of town on June 11th. So you will definitely, if not in the next week or so, probably in the next 2 weeks, you'll probably surpass me, which I knew this was coming. Summer, there's so much stuff going on that it's going to be hard to keep that balance of listing. But on the plus side, I do have a couple hundred cards that are ready to be stocked in my eBay store. So I'm probably going to list 100 and some today because I have them ready. They're all going to be like $1.50 shipped. So I have them ready to go. So it's going to take no time at all. I can get that done in like an hour. The issue, and it's like, well, if it only takes you an hour to list 100 cards or 125 cards, how come you're not listing more? It's because none of my stuff is sorted or organized. So it's difficult to pull out a box and okay, here it is, here it is, here it is. And I think I'm going to resign to the fact that I'm not going to cherry pick like the what's going to sell. Like I think that's been my problem where it's just do it. Don't hesitate. Like I'm going to compare it to being on the road. Uh you have to be decisive because if you're indecisive driving a vehicle in traffic, that's where things go wrong. But if you're aggressive and on the offense or on the defense, and you make fast decisions, you're going to come out unscathed mostly. But if you hesitate, you're indecisive, you're not going to go anywhere. So you've got to push, 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 and that's what I got to keep telling myself that even though I don't think it's going to sell, I just sold a Todd Marinovich 1991 scorecard. So everything sells on eBay. You just got, sometimes it takes a little time. So I need to keep pushing. And if I don't think, sometimes I think things won't sell and they actually do. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm going to list all these Dalton Varsho rookie cards and they're still sitting in my eBay store. And apparently he's doing well. So that's the thing. I just need to be decisive and just pedal to the metal. Boom, list. John says, none of you have Yaz cards in your stores. That's because you keep buying them, which is a good thing. Thank you. Bo has David Robinson cards in his 70s basketball. And let's see, I'm keeping the fire under your feet. I list everything. LOL. I don't know this player, but someone does. And yep, it sells. Absolutely. Magnus was at the National in 2017. It was big. How are the other card shows compared to that? How big is the Rockford show? I would like to visit that one. So let's see. The National is huge. The National is huge. So the 2017 National was not as big as the 2019 or the 2021. But it's you can't really compare it because there's a lot of there's a lot of corporate booths. There's a huge autograph pavilion. So the Rockford show is about 80 tables, and it's in a gymnasium, like a high school basketball gymnasium, but at a church. And then there's like a side hallway. And then the show I promote in Madison, Wisconsin, this month is going to be 135 tables. It's in a big ballroom. The main ballroom is upstairs. There's 67 tables in the main ballroom. And then there's about a dozen tables outside on the mezzanine. And then there's 2 ballrooms downstairs. And they're going to have like 30 tables in each of those rooms. So it's kind of broken up, but I have to. But that's kind of the layouts. Neither compare to the National. Not even close. Let's see. Paul Carl cards. I sold 70 cards this weekend to players I had never heard of. It's worth it, definitely. A Mark Appel minor league card sells. Weird, but hey, it's cool with me. And that's the thing. And I tell people, it's like, how do you know what cards will move? And sometimes it's those, like Mark Appel, I understand because he was the #1 overall pick. And he's got like an interesting story because he was out of baseball and then he made a comeback recently. So I get the Mark Appel. Todd Marinovich, like I think there's a 30 for 30 on Todd Marinovich. So I understand he sells. Kind of what I don't understand is I can move Greg Jeffries cards real easy. Who else from that era? So Brian Taylor sells real easy. I can move some Todd Van Poppel cards, but for some reason Kevin Moss does not sell. It's really weird. And he's a Yankee. He was like the darling of the hobby for a minute. And and his cards just don't move, but others from those same sets will sell. It's kind of weird like that. Let's see, Paul, I think because most sellers only list the big names, and that's why. People are looking, and the casual person, I think, that buys a Mark Appel or players you haven't heard of, they don't have any clue what Sport Lots is because they're just casual. They're like, oh, hey, I remember Mark Appel. I remember Brian Taylor, Todd Marinovich. I want a card. Well, there's not too many people. You go to Sport Lots and you type in 91 score Todd Marinovich and there's probably 300 copies to choose from at 18 cents. You go to eBay and there's none. There's a way more eyeballs on eBay. And if somebody wants a Todd Marinovich, there's going to be few sellers of a 1991 score Todd Marinovich in comparison. So I think that's one of the reasons. And the more volume you have, and I know Paul has your active listings are way up there. You know, and that's awesome when they look for Todd Marinovich and all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's got other names that I want. And then you can offer those volume discounts, and people are more driven to buy more. So that's my strategy. Let's see, or they list the like I did 1986 tops. Like I listed a whole bunch, like a stack of 1986 tops cards, mostly stars, but I tossed in Whitey Herzog. Okay, and I've sold, I don't know, I listed these on Thursday, I think, maybe Friday, and I've sold 4 or 5 cards, and I mean all the names: Roger Clemens, Nolan Ryan, Tony Gwynn, Kirby Puckett, Don Mattingly, all of these names. And Jenny says it, Whitey Herzog. Whitey Herzog sold. I don't think it was the first one that sold. I think Roger Clemens might have been the first card that sold. But Whitey Herzog, out of 50 1986 tops cards of stars, Whitey Herzog sells. 1985 tops Gary Pettis. It was an iconic card. I cannot keep those cards in stock. 1987 tops Pete Rose manager cards. I've sold like 75 of them. It's amazing what sells. Let's see. Where are we at here? Let's see. Jenny says, or they list the commons and variation listings. That's another thing. Variation listings. I have a lot of like big names. It's like, why is this card not selling? Like a Bowman Mega Box, first Chrome Mega Box. Why is this not selling? Because it's buried in a variation listing. I, for one, will not dig through the current year product variation listing for Miguel Sano to see if it's sold out anyway. I'm the same way. Like, I'm going to find, and yes, that's fast, but I can list on File Exchange just as fast. And I can get the photos in there where variation listings, I just splay them all out. And it's like, here, you're not going to get an actual scan of the card. You're just going to get a pile for the representation of the set. Paul says, my sell-through rate is up to 0.04% now, too. There you go. Let's see. Herzog sells within 72 hours for me. He went to Marist High School in Chicago. Click the link above. Let's see if this works for me. For some reason that didn't work. It's not. For some reason that's not working. I don't want to click it because I'm afraid it'll like take me off the live screen. Let's see. You need to list your online store like Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaq in your store. You got basketball and football in your store. Yep. Well, he's making a full-time income the way he's doing it, so I think he's doing it okay. Thank you, Jenny. So that's what I had. Just kind of a random. I didn't even drink all my coffee. And now it's getting cold. So, what do we have today? This week, tonight, Herman and Kin, check them out live on 3B Collections channel, 7 p.m. Central. I am probably going to publish a video. I'll be publishing 2 videos from the Rockford show. One of the $400 card I bought for 25 cents. So I will share that. And I also, it won't be tonight. I'm still bringing all the stuff in for my car. Plus Herman and Kim will be live at 7. And then after 8 o'clock, I'll be winding down. So maybe tomorrow night, Tuesday night, I will go through the $300 collection I bought. So I'll do that live. Let's see. So those are the content videos I'll be putting out. I'll be working on my card show content or card show inventory this week for the Green Bay show this coming Saturday. Let's see. So I will be heading out Friday afternoon and checking out 83 Weeks Live podcast on Friday night in Oshkosh, and then the Green Bay card show at the KI Convention Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's on Saturday, May 21st. Madison card show is Saturday, May 28th. 135 tables, and I'm getting really close to sold out already. I just had another booking this morning, so I've actually got to go through and confirm everybody. So getting close to selling out the 3 rooms, 135 tables, May 28th. Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive, Madison, Wisconsin. And don't forget, Bratfest is that same weekend. So after the card show, you can go across the street and you'll be able to catch Bucky Covington on stage right after the card show. Actually, I think Bucky takes the stage at 2, so you might have to leave the card show a little early if you want to watch Bucky Covington. So you can come early. Come early, leave early, watch Bucky Covington, eat a brat, drink a beer, be all Wisconsin. And then Joe Nichols is on the main stage Saturday night. I was going through his discography. Joe Nichols has some awesome hits. I forgot, and I should know because he was like super pop. He was topping the charts when I was hosting a country morning show, country radio morning show, back in 15 years ago now. So Joe Nichols on the main stage on Saturday, May 28th, right across the street from the Madison Card Show. What else is going on? Hobby Hotline tomorrow. Thanks, Deep Hires. Hobby Hotline tomorrow night. I'm not sure who's hosting tomorrow night, but Hobby Hotline, that comes on at 8 p.m. Central. Check that out on YouTube. Just type in Hobby Hotline. Jenny says, Bo, may I recommend on May 25th and 6th, follow up with dealers signed up that they are coming, especially those that signed up 2 weeks or more. Absolutely. Some of the newer vendors, I will definitely do that. And yeah, I think that's going to be one like preventative measure. And I'm actually considering like overselling the show because there's always, and I understand like there's things that come up late. Especially when it's so far out, when it's 2-3 weeks, I'd rather just say, yeah, hey, come on out. And I can do that this month because I have more tables, but this is going to not be the norm. Usually it's going to be like 120 table show, 115 table show. So just some preventative measures. Let's see. Low Roller says, do you have backup plan if your eBay account got suspended? No. I know how to follow the rules and not get suspended. So no. Let's see. Heading to Phoenix to drop off Uncle Scott. Safe travels to you. Hit the like button if you have not already. Let's see. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Stay tuned. Later today, I'll put up that video how I purchased a $400 card for a quarter. That's coming up on my YouTube channel later today. And maybe I'll put up a video of how not to get your eBay account suspended. How about that? Let's see. TD Sports Cards, if you're a power seller and on the up and up, account will never be suspended. Exactly. Like, you just follow the rules and you don't have to worry about that stuff. It's like, have you ever, I look at that question like, do you have a backup plan if you get sent to prison? Well, I'm not going to break the law. That's how I'm going to avoid prison. Be an upstanding citizen. And that's how you avoid going to prison. And I'm going to follow the rules and not get my eBay account suspended. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great Monday, and we'll see you all tomorrow.